Again, hello Peel, Team Trudeau, welcome. It is so exciting to be here today, and I have the great pleasure to be introducing my good friend Adam Van Koeverden, the greatest MP Milton has ever had. So Adam, over to you.
Wow, thanks, fam. This is so amazing. I used to sneak in here when I was a teenager, and now we're here at the drive-in for the best Trudeau rally ever. Are there any Liberals out there? I'm sorry, are there any Liberals out there? Awesome. 2 years ago today, I was sitting on the couch of our next speaker, inspired by her words of wisdom, and little did I know that I was in the presence of greatness. Somebody who's going to save us from this pandemic, get all those vaccines. Your candidate for Oakville, Anita, Anand!
Woo! Hello everyone, welcome, bienvenue à Oakville, tout le monde. C'est un plaisir de vous voir ce soir. Hi everyone, so excited to welcome you to Oakville tonight. Woo! I am so grateful to be here with my amazing caucus colleagues and caucus colleagues to be. Welcome group to Oakville. And we are so excited to be here. You know, when I looked at the bold and concrete ideas in our Liberal platform, I couldn't be more proud to be part of this Liberal team. We are so fortunate to have a leader like Justin Trudeau and to have a fantastic leadership team, many of whom are right here on the stage with me tonight. During the pandemic, we stepped up, we rolled up our sleeves. We procured 2.5 billion items of PPE for our frontline healthcare workers. We also procured 50 million rapid tests for our Canadians across the country. And then when push came to shove, we got vaccines into this country 2 months ahead of schedule. And while we were doing that work, the Conservatives were misrepresenting the facts. They were saying we wouldn't get vaccines until 2030. They were saying that we didn't sign effective procurement agreements, and they were telling us we didn't have the deep freezers to store the vaccines. But that was all untrue. And we put our heads down, and we not only supplied vaccines for Canadians, but under the incredible leadership of Karina Gould, our Minister of International Development. Woo! We exactly keep those horns going. We donated 40 million vaccines to COVAX. And we donated over $500 million to COVAX and entered into bilateral agreements with individual countries for vaccines. Thank you, Karina Gould and Justin Trudeau. But do you know what? We have a fully costed platform. It speaks to $10 a day childcare, reconciliation, affordable housing, net zero by 2050, and all of that, which is so crucial to progressively moving forward in this country, is on the line in this election. Our first job, not job number one, is to get through this pandemic. And I want to bring in those boosters for Canadians. And I want to make sure that our 5 to 11-year-olds get vaccinated. And to do that, we need to continue with our current procurements. Now listen, our next speaker, Justin Trudeau, is right around the corner. But before he comes out, I got to say something. 2 years ago, as Adam mentioned, I was wondering whether I should run for office. And people told me that a visible minority woman would not win in this incredible town of Oakville. But I said, after talking to many of my colleagues right up here on this stage who encouraged me, that I was going to try. I was going to throw my hat in the ring. And you know who supported me? Justin Trudeau called me to tell me to run. And do you know what? He then appointed me to be the Minister of Public Services and Procurement before the pandemic and trusted me with all of those procurements for the last year and a half and let me spread my wings and fly as a cabinet minister. Justin Trudeau, thank you. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for believing in us. And thank you for believing in this incredible country. We need you. We need your leadership. And let's give it up for Justin Trudeau. Woohoo!
Hello, Liberals! Bonjour, mes amis. How are you doing, Oakville? Let's give it up one more time for our outstanding team for Oakville, Burlington, and Milton. Anita, Pam, Karina, and Adam. I can't think of people better to represent this community. And let's not forget our incredible Liberal leaders from Mississauga, Equinder, Richie, and Peter, Ikra, and Omar. You are ready to keep moving forward for everyone. And above all, to each and every one of the Liberals here this evening, my friends, it's so good to see you. With just 1 week left in the campaign, I know this Liberal team is giving it our all. Here in Oakville, you've knocked on thousands and thousands of doors and made thousands more phone calls. Keep it up! Mes amis, le moment est venu d'aller encore plus loin. On ne peut pas se permettre d'arrêter maintenant. Our country is at a crossroads, and we're facing two very different paths. Erin O'Toole is pointing backwards down that old Conservative Party roadmap of trickle-down economics. That failed theory that if the rich get richer, it will eventually trickle down to you, except that it never does, it never has. My friends, we believe that if you really want to grow the economy, you have to strengthen the middle class and the people working hard to join it. Because that's what truly lifts everyone up. Back in 2015, I made a promise to middle-class families across the country that we would have your back. And you know what? That's exactly what we've done. In our first years, we created 1 million jobs and lifted 1 million people out of poverty. Ensemble, on a sorti 435 000 enfants de la pauvreté avec l'allocation canadienne pour enfants. On a augmenté les impôts pour les 1% les plus riches. pour les baisser pour la classe moyenne. On a garanti une retraite sûre pour les aînés avec plus de soutien financier. Et pendant la crise, on ne vous a pas laissé tomber. The last 18 months have been incredibly challenging. They've been utterly exhausting. And for too many, they've been marked by grief and loss. I understand why so many Canadians are so tired. It's been hard. Hard on our kids, hard on our aging parents, hard on caregivers and teachers and frontline health workers, hard on everyone. Canadians have seen, and in many cases, lived, the vulnerabilities in our social safety net that have been exposed by the pandemic. We saw how quickly women's participation in the workforce plummeted, how racialized and low-income neighborhoods were hit disproportionately hard by the virus. When the pandemic fell on all of us around the world, there were no off-the-shelf solutions. So those of us in government rolled up our sleeves and worked hard day and night. We built the CERB and rolled it out across Canada for families. We created the wage subsidy to have workers' backs and to support small businesses. So people could put food on the table and pay their rent and mortgage, but more than that, so people could stay home and stay safe and healthy. And you know what that did? It set us up to come roaring back. That's why today we've recovered 95% of the jobs lost during COVID compared to 76% in the US. We invested in the healthcare system in every province and territory to absorb the surge and bend the curve, and we made sure, well, our Minister of Vaccines, Anita Anand, made sure that every single Canadian could get vaccinated. And now we're leading the world. So if you haven't, go get your shots. They're there waiting for you. And if you know someone who hasn't, talk to them. Because that's how we get out of this pandemic and to the brighter days ahead. And my friends, there is no doubt that those better times are just around the bend. We are on the brink of a new day dawning in Canada. But before the sun comes out, before this storm clears, there are things we have to get right. There can be no moving forward for everyone. There can be no full economic recovery for anyone unless we finish the fight against COVID-19 for good. On est à l'aube de jours meilleurs pour notre pays. Et pour y arriver, il faut poser des gestes décisifs. Il faut commencer par en finir avec la COVID-19 une bonne fois pour toutes. C'est pour ça qu'Anita a travaillé sans relâche pour qu'on ait assez de vaccins pour tous les Canadiens. C'est pourquoi on va exiger que tous les passagers de 12 ans ou plus à bord d'un avion ou d'un train soient eux-mêmes vaccinés. C'est pourquoi on va payer la facture des provinces et des territoires qui mettent en place des programmes de certification vaccinale. Parce qu'on sait ce qui est en jeu. Et M. O'Toole, lui, il comprend tout simplement pas. Mr. O'Toole won't make sure the traveler sitting beside you and your kids on a train or plane is vaccinated. He won't even make sure his own candidates are vaccinated. In fact, we just learned that Mr. O'Toole is just fine with his candidates who aren't fully vaccinated campaigning inside seniors' homes. Does any of that make sense for our families, for our kids, for our economy? No, it absolutely does not. But you know who it does make sense for? The far-right anti-vax wing of his own party. The mobs of anti-vaxxers who are harassing doctors and nurses, waiters, and business owners. Do you know what he just said to them? That there's room for them in his big tent party. That's who he's chosen. That's the path he wants to take. And it just isn't right. This is the moment for real leadership. The biggest problem Mr. O'Toole has is that he doesn't lead, he misleads. He promised the gun lobby he would repeal our ban on assault weapons and then tried to hide it from Canadians. You can't say you want to make communities safer while secretly planning to work with the gun lobby on which banned assault weapons you would legalize. Right now, the gun lobby is campaigning against liberals. In fact, they were here in Oakville today telling people to vote for Mr. O'Toole because Pam Damoff has stood up to them every step of the way. And I have news for them. Pam Damoff is not going to back down on gun control. She never has, she never will, and neither will we. We are not going to let Mr. O'Toole keep misleading Canadians. You can't say you have a plan for jobs when you don't have a plan to fight climate change. When you would take us backwards to Stephen Harper's old targets. When you refuse to even call out climate change deniers within your own party today. It's 2021. You don't have a plan for the economy if you don't have a plan for the environment. And let's be clear, on climate change, it's not just the Conservative leader that has a problem. So does Mr. Singh and the NDP, because their climate plan fails to meet this challenge. En ce moment, on a besoin de vrai leadership. Et c'est pas ça qu'offre M. O'Toole. Un leader ne peut pas dire qu'il défendra les femmes quand il permet à plus de 80 de ses députés de voter contre le droit des femmes de choisir. Un leader ne peut pas dire qu'il défend les soins de santé quand il s'engage à rendre notre système de plus en plus privatisé. Tout comme un leader ne peut pas dire qu'il défend les familles quand il va déchirer les ententes pour les services de garde à 10 $ par jour à travers le pays. My friends, Mr. O'Toole has made the choice very, very clear. We choose building good green jobs and careers for years to come, not climate denial that leaves Canada's workers behind. We choose helping young people save a down payment to own their own homes. not giving wealthy landlords tax cuts to get even richer. We choose strengthening public health care. He chooses experimenting with privatizing health care. We choose banning assault weapons. He chooses the gun lobby. We choose the rights of Canadians who got vaccinated. He chooses anti-vaxxers. And that's the choice between a Conservative Party that would take Canada backwards or a government that always has your back. I know where I stand, and my friends, it's with you. Ensemble, choisissons un avenir où toutes les familles ont accès à des garderies et où notre économie revient en force. Choisissons un avenir où tout le monde peut trouver un médecin de famille et où personne ne doit être sur la liste d'attente pour des services en santé mentale. Un avenir où c'est possible pour les gens de la classe moyenne de devenir propriétaires d'une maison. Un avenir avec de l'air propre, où le Canada est un leader mondial en matière de bons emplois verts. Et surtout, mes amis, choisissons un avenir où on met fin à cette pandémie une bonne fois pour toutes. C'est le temps de choisir. Et seule notre équipe libérale a l'ambition et le vrai plan. Alors si vous êtes d'accord avec tout ça, votez libéral. Votez pour un système de santé encore plus fort et du logement abordable. Votez pour des places en garderie pour accélérer la lutte contre les changements climatiques. This is the moment for progressive leadership. And we are the best progressive choice and the only progressive party that can stop the Conservatives from taking us backward. My friends, we are the party with the experience, the team, and the plan to continue delivering real results for Canadians. The party with a real commitment to ending this pandemic, to keeping assault weapons out of our communities, with a proven record on signing childcare deals, with the strongest plan on climate. In other words, the party with real ambition and a real plan, not a dream and a wish list. So if you want $10 a day childcare, go out and vote Liberal. If you want mums to be able to return to work and an economy that comes roaring back, go out and vote Liberal. If you want a future where everyone can find a family doctor and no one has to be on a wait list for mental health counselors, if you want an affordable home, if you want assault weapons to stay illegal, if you want Canada to lead the world on good, green jobs, go out and vote Liberal. And above all, my friends, if you want this pandemic to end for good, go out and vote Liberal. Ces 18 derniers mois ont été extrêmement difficiles. Ils ont testé nos limites, mais on a tout donné. On s'est battu avec acharnement contre ces virus et ses conséquences. Every time we put on a mask, every time we helped a neighbor, every time we rolled up our sleeve to get vaccinated, we found the light in each other. And now we're on the brink of a new, better day. The darkest moments are behind us, and the sun is ready to come up. So let's reach out for that brighter future. because this is the Canada we can build, and this is our moment to build it. Le choix qu'on va faire durant cette élection va définir les années et même les décennies à venir. Alors, choisissons d'avancer ensemble et faisons le choix maintenant. Mes amis, ensemble, on a beaucoup accompli. Et ensemble, on peut aller encore plus loin. Je suis prêt à travailler avec encore plus d'espoir et encore plus fort. Et je sais que vous l'êtes aussi. Advance polls are open until tomorrow evening. Go out there and vote. It's time to make your voice heard. It's time to step up. Join our movement. Make some calls. Go knock doors. Talk to your neighbors. Talk to your family. Keep believing in what we can achieve together. We're ready for the hard work. We're ready for the hope. My friends, let's choose to finish the fight against COVID. Let's build a better tomorrow that leaves no one behind. And let's keep moving forward for everyone. Merci tout le monde. Thank you, Oakville.